everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's probably the first one since I only created this channel like a month ago and I only have like one video so far. Welcome. This video is book recommendations or like fantasy novel book recommendations. Fantasy novel recommendations. I'd originally filmed this video the same time that I filmed my introduction video, but there was one book series in there that I recommended, but I wasn't finished it. And it's still a really good series. I'm still not done reading it. But I just prefer to do something that I have read, and I thought of another series I could have done. I haven't actually read this series. My mom read it to me when I was younger, when I was like 8, but it counts. The first recommendation I have for you today is the Harry Potter series. You've probably heard of this, and because it's a really popular series. It's one of my favorite series, and it's really good. It's about this boy who finds out that he's a wizard, and then he goes to this wizarding school called Hogwarts. I don't know how much to say without spoiling it. I'm not good at describing books because I don't know how much to say without spoiling them. There is some violence in it, but it's not too bad. And there are 7 books in the series, and then some books that are also part of the same universe but not directly a part of the series. And then there's also a play, which is also a book but written as a play, but the book version was written as a play, like in a script format. And it takes place 19 years later, and it's about like the kids of a bunch of main characters and stuff. Yeah, it's a really good series. I started reading this when I was 8. I was almost 9, I think, and I finished when I was like 10 and a half, I think. So, yeah, and I think it would be okay for anyone 8+, maybe even younger, but really depends on how advanced you are at reading, because I don't know if a lot of 7-year-olds are going to read novels, like full-on proper novels. The second book recommendation I have is the School for Good and Evil series, which is, it's about these 2 girls who live in this normal village where magic doesn't exist, and they get kidnapped by the schoolmaster of the School for Good and Evil, which is a school where students learn to become the greatest heroes and villains of all time, and they get taken to the school in this magical world where it's magical. And yeah, it's a really good series. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say that about all the books. There are 6 books in the series plus 2 prequels. There is violence, but it's not too bad. There are a couple parts, especially one part in one of the prequels that is a bit like morbid, but like I personally don't like scary stuff, but I was able to handle it, so it's not too bad, at least compared to a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, I started reading this series when I was 11, and I finished the main series probably like a little under a year ago, so I was like 12, almost 13, and then I finished the second prequel when I was after I turned 13. I'd recommend it for probably 9+ maybe. I mean, some 8-year-olds probably would be able to handle it. It's not terrible, but it's probably a little more violent than Harry Potter. So, not terrible, but regarding violence, I mean, it's a great book series. I'd probably say 9+ or 10+. So. And then the third and final book recommendation I have for you today is the Chronicles of Narnia series, which is about, or the first book is about these 4 siblings who get sent away during a war, and they are sent to live with this professor who has like a huge house and stuff. So one day they're exploring this huge house and they find this wardrobe, and at the time they think nothing of it. But then another day they're playing hide and seek, and the youngest of them decides to hide in the wardrobe and discovers that the wardrobe actually leads to a magical land called Narnia. I'm gonna say it's a really good series again. Sorry for being so repetitive about that. There are 7 books in the series, and like I said at the beginning of the video, I didn't personally read this, but my mom read them to me when I was 8, and then I can't remember whether we finished them when I was still 8 or if I was 9 by the time we finished them. But yeah, and I did actually start the first one again like 2 years ago, but I never finished it since my mom read them all to me when I was younger, so they weren't at the top of my priorities when it comes to book reading, and I found a bunch of other books that I got into, so yeah, and at this point I'm probably just going to restart the first book and then read the entire series after I finish some of the series I'm currently reading. I'd probably recommend it for 8+. I mean, there is a bit of violence. I don't think it's terrible. Not that bad. But there is violence. Yeah, I think that's it. And thank you so much for watching. And I hope you found a new book series to read. And I hope you enjoy it. Have fun reading. Bye.